Talk Radio.
In the name of Amen, the Supreme, the All-Powerful, the one and only true Lord, and Amen we trust, and Amen we thank, and Amen we continue forward forever. Good evening, I'm the intellectual Neva Menkares, and this is Mentellect Radio, and tonight I'm going to be discussing this guy again, Zzurayass Nuclear, a.k.a. Nicholas Jackson. Tonight, I'm going to be discussing his plagiarism of my work again. Zzurayass Nuclear, a.k.a. Copycat. Nick, that's the name I give him. You at it again, huh? And your latest plagiarizing of my work, there's one you did called The Telepathic Communication Through the Sun, which is a definite ripoff of Solar Projection, my broadcast. I'm not going to play it. Because I'm not going to have my channel flagged. But you sit up here and you still copying me. You still doing this? You're still sitting up here copying my work, Telepathic Communication Through the Sun, which you recorded on, which you put on YouTube June 27, 2021. You copied from me, and my people came in your comment section and lit your ass up and exposed you as a copycat and a liar, and you're sitting up here going hearts and things like that. And a young lady asked you a question on that video. A young lady, I hope she finds her way over to I hope she finds her way over to Mentellect Radio so she can see where this is coming from. Her name is Jasmine Knox. I hope you don't mind I said your name, darling. You know, you said, "Dang, this is Jasmine Knox, your Facebook friend." Wow, they have a whole channel about you, and do you have what do you have to say about that? And you laughed and agreed. So is that you agreed? Yeah. The reason why, and then he put that we haters and we're gonna hate on him. Let me tell you something. Nobody's hating on him. You see, he's copying from me. He used to be a former member of mine in the Republic of Mentellect. Him, Nicholas Jackson from Las Vegas, was a former member of mine who is copying and plagiarizing my work right now and passing it off as his so-called receptions and his thoughts. This is what he's doing. So if me telling the truth is considered to be hate, I don't know. This is some new madness that is taking hold in the minds of black people. Where has it ever been cool for people to copy your work? To copy and plagiarize other people's work. Where has that ever been cool at? You know what that's like? That's like if I was a rapper and I said I got some hot lyrics and I'm spitting some hot bars and, you know, I'm going to kick the hot 16 and whatnot. I got all this hot rap music I'm going to lay out to the public, and I come and I start rhyming stuff from Run DMC, from Tupac, from Biggie. I start saying they rhymes. How would that look? You would look at me like I'm phony as hell. So why is in Nicholas Jackson and this other guy, New Brighton, James Smith, another former follower of mine, and Nicholas Buddy from Minneapolis, Minnesota, is doing the exact same thing. So why is it not considered corny or, you know, or messed up that they doing this to me, that they copying my work and passing it off to y'all as their own thoughts? If somebody came and did that, y'all would be like, oh, that's whack and this and the third. But you're sitting up here acting as though we're victimizing him, that we trying to hate on him when he's copying me. He's plagiarizing. I mean, he's outwardly plagiarizing my work. And he's not going to come and ever tell you the truth about that. How are you going to sit up here and take somebody seriously who's deceptive like that, who's lying to you? Why is he not telling the truth about where this is really coming from, that he's copying from my broadcast? I've been broadcasting on Blog Talk Radio since 2012, and I've had my YouTube channels up since 2013, 14, and whatnot. And like I said, Nicholas Jackson from Las Vegas, who he calls himself Zzurayass Nuclear, and this other guy, James Smith, a.k.a. New Brighton. These guys were former members of my followers of mine for at least 2 years, and these guys are plagiarizing my work. Now, ask Nicholas Jackson, a.k.a. Zzurayass Nuclear, was he ever a follower of mine? Ask him, was he ever in the Republic of Mentellect? If he tells you no, I will show you his letter he wrote. I still have it, still have his pictures, everything. You see, that he wrote to join the Republic of Mentellect. Still got him. You see, and the other guy, James Smith, New Brighton. And he's in videos wearing my clothing line, shirts from my clothing line. But like I said, I'm wrong because I'm telling the truth about how this guy's plagiarizing my work. And he does you all a disservice because where you could be hearing the real transmission, the real message that's coming through me and whatnot, you can hear it pure. He's making it impure by lying about it, number one. He's doing just what the white man does. The white man plagiarizes our history, plagiarizes our work, steals from our people, steals our whole heritage, steals our whole blood, whole birthright, and then passes it off as his. Now, are you okay with the so-called white man doing that to our people? Because if you're not okay with that, then you shouldn't be okay with what Nicholas Jackson is doing to my work, where he set up a whole channel where he just plagiarizes my work and regurgitates my work. You see? Now, I would have no problem with him regurgitating my work if he was honest and telling everybody I'm getting this from Mentellect Radio, but he's not going to do that. Nor is he ever going to do a broadcast where he's answering questions about my work or answering questions in general, since he claims to be this receiver. Because if you all you got to do is pay attention to him, you could tell he's reading off of something or he's copying. This is not naturally coming from him. All you got to do is look up Mentellect Radio, Mentellect. Look up Mentellect all on YouTube. You'll see just where Nicholas's transmissions is coming from. You'll really see where it's coming from, and it ain't him. You see, because like I said, long before I could sit up here and be angry at him for copying and plagiarizing my work and trying to pass it off as his own, it's not even so much about me as it is about you all, because you all obviously are seeking something higher if you're sitting here listening to Nicholas and whatnot, and he's standing in the way of that. Because instead of him being honest and saying, you know what, I got this from here, y'all might want to go to the source where you can ask Newton and Carre's questions about this topic that I'm speaking on. This is my take on it, even though he took my whole damn transmission and copied it as his own. He don't even have his own thoughts on it. All he's doing is regurgitating my work. You see, at least I could give you more. At least I could see you just taking it and listening to it and taking it, Nicholas, and just saying, you know what, these are my thoughts on that. I'm sharing my thoughts. You don't even have no thoughts. All you doing is just regurgitating my work. How pathetic are you? And how pathetic are the people who sit up here and listen to you and take you seriously? You still doing this? So I'm gonna tell you his latest so-called transmissions, his fake latest so-called transmissions. He did this telepathic communication through the sun, which came from my broadcast, several of my broadcasts about solar projection. That come from there, right? This is where he gets the communication through the sun. All that comes from my work. And he did another one just recently. This one is, let me see. This one he just did, living in the light years of path of continuous. This one he did, living in the light years on the path of continuous. This is what he put out on the 28th, okay, which is yesterday now. This was copied from me as well. I talked about the continuous path into the upper dimensions. Even that upper dimension one is a copy from me. All of his work, like 90% of his work, is copied from me. I can safely say that. I don't even have to go through all the videos. I can go through them all and whatnot. And if they had to take out the stuff that he copied from me, he'd have no channel. He would have no channel, so he's not going to admit that to you. I told you he's not here to share anything with you because he's being disingenuous. He is not telling you where he's getting this from. He is not telling you where he's copying this from. So he's being very disingenuous. How can you listen to somebody who plagiarizes from somebody else? How can you do that? People have accused me of plagiarizing. I have never plagiarized from anybody. And then some idiot, I don't know if it's him behind another name, somebody named something Stephanie or Steven, whatever, Jackson, somebody, one of his family members, going to talk about some guy who sits around with no shirt on, some guy talking about some dropping some transmission. This guy's video, I don't even know who he is. He looks like one of those former followers of Nature Boy. These niggas that sit around with their shirts off and dreads in their head talking this hippie shit all day and whatnot, talking about extending and transform. They just like all that talk. They deep down, these guys are nothing but a bunch of niggas, man. They're nothing but a bunch of do-nothing niggas who looking to feed off somebody's energy. And I'm going to just say it like this, Nicholas, you know different. That's why you left up out the Republican Mentellect. And that's why you said to me, oh, I would have stayed in the community, but I couldn't afford to pay the $144 a month, $144 a month. I would have stayed. Remember that's what you said to me, Nicholas? You couldn't even get up a lousy $144. Like I said, And again, it wasn't even about the money. It was about the sacrifice. It was about the fact that you showed that you participate, and you did pay for a while. But like I said, obviously you had other designs, another agenda, which is really a scumbag move. Because if you just wanted to come in here and steal and whatnot and take something, then try to pass yourself off as a receiver, I don't know what it is with you. Are you this desperate that you need people to believe that you are more than what you are? Obviously so. You need you and this other clown, James Smith. Y'all had to come up with these two cartoon character names. Well, you Zzurayass Nuclear, nigga. Even though you Nicholas Jackson from Las Vegas, you really Nicholas Jackson from Las Vegas. Your code name, your street name, your YouTube name is Zzurayass Nuclear. Which you first was saying nucleus, which came from our Mentellect language, and like I said, you actually sent me a fucking friend request. You got the nerve to send me a friend request after copying my work. How much of a scumbag are you? I guess you did that because you wanted to have free open reign to my page so you could see my work, so you can get the shows like you and this clown still do. You still listening to my stuff. I just got you on a comment on one of the recent broadcasts I did when we put up on Mentellect 144 where we have over 22,000 followers and whatnot. We just put that up there and you still listening. So I guess the latest stuff I put out is going to be one of your latest broadcasts, huh? Go on Mentellect. Those of you listening, go on Mentellect channel 144. We got a lot of other Mentellect channels, but that's the latest stuff. And you can check our Patreon channel so you can hear the real transmission. You can hear the real source, the clear, pure source of where Nick copies from. And that's Mentellect, and that's me, Newton Menkares. Nobody's hating on Nick because how am I going to hate on my own work? Why would I hate on my own work? What I hate, if I'm going to hate anything, I hate the fact that he's deceiving you all, that he's lying to you all. That's what I hate. If I'm going to hate on anything, it ain't got nothing to do with me because, like I said, I know I can continue putting out these transmissions, and Nick going to keep stealing. He going to keep copying. That's why you was just listening on my page on Mentellect Channel 144 because you was copying the latest stuff I did. You see, you and your buddy Futuritarian, he made a comment on my section. Why is he a Futuritarian? Why you wanted me to call him? What do you want to talk to me about? What do you want? Ain't nothing to talk about, nigga. I told you. You a copycat. You a liar and a copycat like your buddy Zzurayass Nuclear, Nick Jackson. You see, there's nothing to talk about. You're a plagiarist. You're nothing but plagiarists. And I don't sit up here and I don't have conversations with plagiarists and lie. And we're going to keep exposing you, Nick. Your latest new videos are straight copies from my stuff. And I know you're going to keep on copying from me because what else can you do? You have no mind of your own. You are a brain person. You are not a mind person. You are not a mental person. You are a brain person. All you know how to do is regurgitate what you hear somebody else say because you're not smart enough to transmit nothing yourself. See, you have to have something up there to pull in frequency. Obviously, there's not much up there that you got to sit up here and copy from another man trying to build a foundation off of another man's work. How much of a scumbag are you? Do you want that much attention? Then you sitting around here calling us haters like we making this up. This ain't just me. My people came to me and exposed you. They the ones that want to come up here and keep exposing you because they hate what you're doing. They hate that you're deceiving the people. And if they hate it, I hate it too because so many people want this transmission. And instead of you being righteous and leading them in the right direction and away from your black ass, you see, instead of you doing the right thing and leading them where the transmission really comes from, you steering them away. You steering them away. All because you want attention. All because you're yellow, you want to pretend you got a real organization when there's that United Nation of Nuclear, whatever you're talking about. There's no organization, Nicholas. Stop lying. You ain't got no people following you. You and the Fruitarian boy over there, James, all y'all doing is sitting up here regurgitating mine and getting some YouTube followers. You trying to build something because you want to be me. And you need to stop it. Nobody should respect a plagiarist. Nobody should respect a copycat and a wannabe. And that is just what Nicholas Jackson, a.k.a. Zzurayass Nuclear, is. He's a copycat and a wannabe. And if I'm wrong, come on my radio broadcast and prove me wrong. 319-527-6028. Every night, 10 p.m. to 12 a.m., I'm answering questions. See if Nicholas Jackson can do that. See if he'll come on and answer questions about his so-called reception. He's not going to do that because he's a liar and a deceiver. He is not a receiver. He is a deceiver. And he does this message of service. And that's it. We're going to close out in the name of Amen, by the power of Amen. And Amen we trust, and Amen we thank, and Amen we continue forward. Good night. We out.